Hey, what is up, guys? I'm here to give you my TNA review. Um, this TNA happened on May 22nd, 2014. You're probably wondering where it was. I went over my friend Isaiah's house. He's been on this channel before. And yeah, I went over his house, just chilled, played some WWE 2K14, ordered some pizza. We actually prank called and Domino's and ordered pizza at somebody else's house. We also went to the playground a couple times. We watched Ted, which I review. You can check the review out on the CM Brothers channel. We watched some of Hot Tub Time Machine. So it was good stuff. But I'm back and I'm gonna be making some videos for you guys. By the way, happy Memorial Day to all of those men and women out there who are helping fight our country. I appreciate what you're doing. And my Raw review, I'm gonna announce. I don't know if it's gonna be on because it's Monday. So and it's 12:49 in the morning. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it tonight because I'm gonna be doing some cookout stuff. So it may not come out until tomorrow. So just want to let you know that. But let's get right into the TNA review. If my memory's a little sketchy, it's because I only watched it once, so I'm just gonna go off my memory. I also watched Homeward Bound too when they got lost in San Francisco, and I just watched the Duck Family, I think it's called. So let's get right into the TNA review. So we get Taz and Mike today on commentary. MVP and his crew are backstage. His crew, I'm gonna be referring to them as his crew because that's what it is. I don't know, they don't really have a name yet, but it's MVP, also known as Montel Bontavious Porter, Kenny King, and Bobby Lashley. And they are walking backstage, and we see Kazarian. He's talking to Christopher Daniels on the phone, and Kenny King thinks he said something to him. He's like, "No, I'm just on the phone." And Kenny King jumps him, and Bobby Lashley and Kenny King and Lashley beat the shit out of him. That was awesome. And then they come out to cut a promo. MVP talks about how this was all just a plan. It was just about money, power, and something else. And he says this all night, but I don't remember what it is. And he says that if you don't have money, power, you got nothing. I think it's like politics or something. And he says that he ruled with an iron fist and stuff. I don't remember what he said, but he referenced that. Kenny King says his part of the plan was when him and MVP had their exhibition match, and when he got himself counted out when him and Bobby Lashley had a match. And Bobby Lashley says his part of the plan was when he got signed to TNA by MVP and all that stuff. So then the Wolves come out, which is Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards. Davey Richards says that he actually is the only one that talks during this. I have a feeling that if this team ever breaks up, which won't happen anytime soon, Davey Richards will be the one they push more. But I could be wrong because we thought Ted DiBiase Jr. would be pushed ahead of Cody Rhodes, but that didn't happen. Cody Rhodes got pushed more than him, but back to the topic. The Wolves say, "You brought us into TNA, and we helped you at least the lockdown gain control so we wouldn't have to deal with Dixie Carter anymore. Now what happened?" And he's like, "Hey, I gave you guys an opportunity to win the tag belts, didn't I? I mean, if it wasn't for me, you guys would be nothing. You'd still be wrestling on the indies eating ramen noodles." And then, they say something to get them pissed off. I think it was like there would be nothing if it wasn't them. And then the Wolves attacked them, but the numbers game is too much. MVP and his crew ended up beating them down. Bobby Lashley spears Eddie Edwards, and then he spears Davey Richards off the stage, and he has to be taken to the medical assistance. And then we see Eric Young walk backstage. I don't know if hopefully he just arrived, because he was there. If he was there the whole time, where was he when they were getting beaten down? So Eric Young comes out to put a promo. He goes to say something. MVP comes out like, if you want something to say something. And he says that MVP is sold out. And MVP actually earlier in the night I referenced, yeah, I sold out. I sold out every arenas. You guys all pay to see me. Great heel. And he says that Kenny King, he doesn't know him that well, but he's just a scumbag. Bobby Lashley saying, "You got kids, you fought in war, you always talk about loyalty. What are your kids gonna say to you now?" And MVP's like, "Well, his kids, he's gonna say that he's gonna say to his kids when he has a bunch of money, how successful he became." And then Eric Young wants to fight, so MVP and his crew get in the ring. He attacks them. They beat him down, but Austin Aries wins out to make the save. They fight off Kenny Ken. They struggle a little bit with Bobby Lashley, but they do end up fighting him off. And Austin Aries says that he saw MVP's rules all along, and he knew it was because he remember he turned heel on him during a match with Bobby Roode. Which I guess now you can really say he didn't really turn heel since he knew MVP was what MVP was doing all along. And he challenges MVP to a match, and MVP says, "Okay, I beat you once, I can beat you again." So that was good stuff right there. I thought it was cool. And I went under the one notes. Angelina Love's backstage. She says she won an open challenge for a Knockouts Championship. Gail Kim accepts back. Well, says she's gonna accept. She attacks Angelina Love backstage, and person pull her off. We get Angelina Love open challenge for the Knockouts Championship. She had Velvet Sky inside with her, and she says this is only for people who haven't been the Knockouts champion yet. Um, so yeah, I can understand that because well, she's a heel and she doesn't want to face like tough competition. She's trying to get out of it, but she says it's to give other people an opportunity. Um, it's Brittany. I'm glad they kind of ended that Madison Rain Angelina Love feud because really Angelina Love's kind of already won this feud because she's pretty much laid out Madison Rain every week. Um, match was okay. Um, Velvet Sky distracts the ref, and then Angelina Love hits the kick for the win and retains the championship. And Gail Kim comes out and attacks the beautiful people, and fights them off. And then that was about it. So we're gonna probably get Angelina Love defending her Knockouts championship against Gail Kim, which should be a good match. I like Gail Kim matches. I remember last year her and Taryn Terrell stole the show. I don't know what the next match was actually. Why is it underneath my SmackDown notes again? Why is it underneath my SmackDown notes again? The Calders are backstage, and they're not supposed to be there. The Calders are Dixie Carter and Ethan Carter the third. Which, by the way, are we ever gonna meet his father, Ethan Carter the second, or his grandfather, Ethan Carter, just Ethan Carter? Good questions. But Ethan Carter the third is EC3, um, and Dixie Carter says that MVP has this new attitude now, so we're gonna talk about that. I think that's what she said. She said something like that. That Mr. Anderson's in a bar and James Storm comes up and he keeps challenging him. There's also like pool, Pac-Man, stuff like that. He says, I would break your face through all that stuff. And Mr. Anderson challenges him to a drinking contest, and James Storm accepts. I'm just gonna kind of go into. I'm just gonna kind of continue with this. So later on in the show, Mr. Anderson and James Storm are both drunk because they've been drinking beer. And Mr. Anderson goes to get more, and he's pretending to be drunk. And we find out that he was using, and when he tells Miss James Storm that he's not really drunk, James Storm's really drunk though. Mr. Anderson is had like fake beer, like a non-alcoholic beer. So he did this for revenge. So he attacks a drunk James Storm and beats him up in the parking lot. That was pretty good. I guess the feud could continue. They're not doing nothing, so it's fine. A feud that kind of doesn't make any sense, I'm going to talk about that, is going to be Gunner and Samuel Shaw. Gunner went and visited Samuel Shaw. I don't know if it's going to be a feud, really, but he went and visited Samuel Shaw in the mental institution, and he talked about how Samuel Shaw asked, why you're here, you don't know what it's like to be here, and Gunner says he actually does know what it's like to be there, because he's fought in wars, and I don't really need to explain it. If you know what people that fought in wars, you pretty much know. They go crazy because of the stuff they have to do. And Gunner says he's going to help him out. And he said this because he was wearing like a straight jacket, so he says, let's start by getting you out of that straight jacket. I guess that wasn't bad. It was okay. And then, so let's just move on to the next segment. Austin Aries versus MVP. Match was pretty good. Austin Aries beats the crap out of MVP throughout half the match. And then, Austin Aries is going for the 450 splash. Kenny King gets involved. They attack him. And then Eric Young tries to make the saves, but they attack him too. The numbers game catches up with him. And MVP says that Eric Young is going to face Bobby Lashley tonight. And then the Calder's come out. And she's like, why haven't you returned my calls? Why are you putting yourself in matches? You should just let me run things again. Bully Ray comes out with a lead pipe, goes to attack them. And then he gets in the ring to have a face-off with MVP. He doesn't really say, he says like a lot, but he doesn't really get to get his point across really, because Kenny Ken attacks him, and then they all attack him. Kenny Ken's actually a hothead in this group. He just attacks anybody he wants to. And they all attack Bully Ray, and they leave. Dixie Carter and EC3 come back out, or the Carters, and EC3 puts Bully Ray through a table, which doesn't surprise me. Maybe those will lead to a tables match. Well, actually, I know, I read online, they're having a match at Slammiversary. And then it's, and then Bully Ray chases them away in the, parking lot. And then we see Eddie Edwards come back, and he wants to fight someone. He fights Kenny Ken. They brought a pretty good amount of time. It was a pretty good fight. But Kenny Ken T-bowed suplexes him, hurting his shoulder. I think I might have missed something, because we get Magnus with Bram versus Willow in a Falls Count Anywhere match, because Magnus made this match earlier in the night. Bram's trying to get this aggressive side out of Magnus. He kind of succeeded. He kicked him in the gut and punched him in the face, and Bram's mouth was all bloody. He tried to do it in this match. He tried to have Magnus use that turnbuckle weapon. At first he does, but he won't hit him in the head. And then Willow hits the twist of fate on the stage for the win. I don't know where this is going with Magnus. I'm kind of interested in it. I just don't know where it's going. And if this is leading to like a triple threat match at Slammiversary between Willow, Magnus, and Bram, or just a match between Magnus and Bram. I have no clue where this is going. Okay, can I get to the main event? MVP and the referee. It's the referee that refereed his match. He's kind of upset, obviously, that he disqualified him. So he's like, "I'm gonna give you this chance." So then that was good stuff, I guess. It was okay. Then Eric Young gets interviewed, says he's never 100%. We get Eric Young versus Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley beats him up the whole match because Eric Young's weak. And when Eric Young shows a flurry, Kenny King comes down, gets involved in the match, and the referee doesn't do anything because he's too afraid to, because he's afraid to get fired. And then Lashley wins with a spear. They beat him down again. Austin Aries tries to even the odds with the kendo stick. The kendo stick doesn't affect Lashley, so they lay him out too with the spears and stuff. Pretty good stuff. I thought TNA was pretty good. The fight between Eddie Edwards and Kenny Ken was good. The match between Angelina Love and Brittany wasn't bad. The fights between Gail Kim and the Beautiful People were good. I guess the Austin Aries MVP match wasn't bad. I did like the Mr. Anderson James Storm stuff. I thought it was very funny shit. So yeah, I did like some of the stuff on TNA this week. I'll give it a thumbs up. So that's pretty much it, guys. Vote on my polls. It's probably the same. You know what to vote for. It's down below. It's 1 in the morning. I'm not doing this. I got one more video to make. I'm gonna make my SmackDown review after this video.